Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Maxwell Britton. I am T-Pain's personal mixologist and co-author to his debut cocktail book, Can I Mix You a Drink?, coming out on November 2nd. That's right, we're here today on live signing. We're going to be pre-gaming it right now by making some cocktails, drinking some drinks. We'll talk some music. And then around 4:15, we're going to be heading over to the link below, posted there on Facebook. So here we are with my friend T-Pain. What's going on, man? What's in your cup?
What's happening, brother? I am rocking a Yeti cup full of just straight alcohol.
Okay.
I'm joking. No, we got a good mix going on in there, but we might switch it up in between here. How's everybody doing? How are you doing, Max?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. So I think right from the top, I do want to give one shout out. You got a fan from St. John's, Canada. His name's Jonathan, and he just says, honestly, I just want to shout out. I've been a fan since 2005, and I'm looking forward to getting the book and mixing some drinks. Much love, and I appreciate you and your music.
That's a long time. I appreciate it. 2005, let's go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm here hanging out behind the bar in Brooklyn. We're going to be doing a featured cocktail from the book, and of course from your brilliant music catalog. We're going to be doing the cocktail named after Goat Talk, which is named after the hit song you co-wrote and produced for your 6th studio album, One Up.
I do that.
Which released, there it is.
There it is. That's how I do that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get going on the mixing on that in a second. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm wearing a tuxedo right now.
I mean, you went full on. You went full on, man.
I had to because we're going to be talking about Goat Talk. We're going to be making the cocktail Goat Talk, and I'm talking to the goat right now. So I figured I got to be, I got to dress fly. I got to come correct.
This is right.
It's kind of weird though, because I look like I'm dressed like I'm going to like a gala or something right now. But I'm standing behind a bar by myself.
Right.
I kind of feel like a boxing commentator right now. You know what I mean? I'm just like, in the left corner, we've got award-winning heavyweight T-Pain, aka Teddy Pain, aka Tallahassee Pain.
There it is.
And of course, we couldn't make the Goat Talk cocktail without using champagne.
True.
So
let's get to it, man. I mean, explain to me how this whole thing goes. You're so good at this. It's so great when you explain this, because I can obviously like read off instructions, but when you always add like things, like even if the recipe calls for like a lemon, I'll just say, and then throw some lemon in there. But when you do, you're like, you want to take a fresh slice of newly picked lemon, and it's just like you just explain it so much better. Hit us with the process real quick.
Yeah, it's sort of. Check it out. When we first started working on the book, you said for this song that you wanted an expensive champagne drink, and I didn't really get that much else information from you other than you said that you also wanted lemon juice. And so I had to get inside of the mind of T-Pain to really decipher this. I had to, what does he mean? What does he mean? Right? So I think what we came up with was a pretty dope cocktail.
Nice.
And just give me one sec. So
you got it, man. You got it.
We got a little bit of the Douce VSOP cognac as our spirit base. I know this bottle is awesome.
So good. I can't even hold things like that. I would have been slinging it around and just holding it by the neck like a rookie.
I don't know. I've been holding bottles for almost as long as you've been holding a microphone. Probably not quite.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So we're doing about a full ounce of that. We're going to be adding in a little bit of fresh blood orange juice.
See, fresh. I wouldn't have had to put that in there. You just make it sound so great.
Fresh blood. It's for the sacrament, We do a quarter ounce of fresh lemon, and then we're just gonna do just a touch of simple syrup.
Nice.
Doesn't need to be too sweet because we already have the that blood orange juice. That blood is already so sweet.
It's already so sweet.
So I'm just gonna grab some ice real quick.
Gotcha. You already set up. You got the whole joint to yourself. It's amazing. You're just in there chilling.
I'm not going to a party, but I can throw a party.
There it is. See, you can throw a little self party right there.
That's right. All right, so just give it a quick little shake.
That composition was crazy.
Got my nice little cocktail glass here.
Oh, look at that.
I made a little extra.
That.
I made a little extra for myself because I have a feeling we're going to be drinking a little bit.
Bit. Yeah, this is the pregame, so you know. So just for everybody that's joining in, this is the pregame portion. So we're going to be on here for about 10, 15 minutes or so, all the way up until shit starts kicking in, and then and then we're going to move to another platform. But the link is in the description. All the links are in the description. You know, just go read the description to yourself like 5 times. And just figure it out. You guys are smart. You got here. You're here now. So you know about the internets. Those old worldwide internets. You got it.
All right. So yeah, I topped off my glass with a little bit of Ace of Spades. Gave myself a nice little twist of lemons. Now we got some lemon oil right over the top. And we're ready to go, man.
And there it is, my brother.
Let's go talk, baby.
There it is. The go talk.
Pretty damn.
You know what? I gotta get the mood going in here.
Yeah, man. Get it going.
I heard the mood going. Oh my God. There it is.
Okay, so gotta ask you. So while I know that the album is reference to your love of the album that Go Talk is from, One Up. The title is in reference to video games, and it symbolizes an extra life. So
true.
Some critics took the title as like a symbolic comeback title. However, many reviews argue that it's not a comeback because you never left the game.
That's true.
And of course, this album also got released after you won season 1 winner of The Masked Singer USA. So to me, it was a lot more of an acknowledgement of the magnitude of your presence in the music industry as an icon. And of course, what better way to finish the final track by titling it Goat Talk,
Absolutely.
Lil Wayne. And I'm just curious to know, what was it like working with Dr. Carter?
Oh man, Dr. Carter, it's always a pleasure, man. It's never I wouldn't say it's never a dull moment, because, you know, sometimes we just sit, because him and I have this thing where we don't write our lyrics down, so we kind of just write in our heads and just go off the top when we get on the mic. So sometimes it gets a little quiet in the studio, but man, when that's not happening, it's amazing. You know, it's really about the camaraderie and the level of talent that we have as a duo. It always shines through, and you can tell we always enjoy, you know, trying to have like a friendly competition on these records. So it's like, it's like a friendly competition. It's not something that we're trying to necessarily outdo each other, but it's like, all right, if you're going to go there, I'm going to go here. All right, if you go there, I'm going to go here. And, you know, it just happens all the time. And that makes the recording sessions fun. It makes it worth doing it. You know what I'm saying? It makes you actually want to get in the studio, because most of the time when people are like, let's get in the studio, I'm like, oh, God, no. It's got to be terrible. We don't like any of the same stuff. If we got to argue over what channel we're going to watch on TV while we're in the studio, I don't want to be in there. That's like, it gets down to such minor things. Like if you eat like weird smelling food, I can't do studio sessions with vegans. All their food smells weird, and you got us confined in this little ass room.
Yeah, you don't want like that smell of curry wafting out of your microphone.
I can't do it. It's just so much. And then they go get on the mic first, spitting all their chickpea fragments and.
That's cool. Yeah, he seems like somebody. You guys seem like you've got a lot of similar interests too.
We do.
He's like a cool dude.
Man, he's cool. He's super cool. Doesn't demand much. He's a simple man. You know what I'm saying? He needs a couple things in the studio, and then he gets a job done, and he does his work. So, you know, just watching him work is amazing. You know what I'm saying? Especially when he started coming out of the booth and he started recording in the control room.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a whole nother level, because in the booth you have to be like attentive, and you got to like stand up, and you got to, you know, be right there in the mic. If you're in the control room, you just got a mic there. That's another level of comfort that I don't think anybody has experienced in a long time. Just being able to rap on a couch. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Oh my God, you know, that's really funny that you say that. I was curious to know, did you ever sell that couch on Craigslist?
I did not sell the couch.
Oh my God, no one wants the couch. What'd you do to it?
It's still upstairs, just sitting there. My cat has started clawing it up, so I don't think it's gonna get sold.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was fine before, but the amount of time it's taken to sell this damn couch, my cat has taken a liking to it, and now it's unsellable. Okay. Now I just got to throw away a perfectly good clawed up couch.
So if I'm assuming that hold on, we got an alarm going off here.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna move over. We're gonna be moving over links in a couple of minutes. We still got a couple more minutes before we jump off from the pregame. But I'm curious to know, you think Lil Wayne will be a fan of "Can I Mix You a Drink"? Oh,
no question. Yeah, we're already sending him a copy.
Okay. Yeah, he better. I want to see that. I want to see it posted on his Twitter, Instagram.
I've sent away all my copies that I had, and I've given them to my friends and stuff like that. So. Yeah. I sat in Macon, Georgia. Oh my God. How many was that? How many things did we sign in Macon?
1,400.
Yeah.
What?
I sat in Macon, Georgia for a few days and signed 1,400 books in one little sitting. So that was eventful.
I do not envy that part of your job.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool because once I went on a Navy tour. Well, I was going to different Navy bases, and each thing that I had to do, each show I had to do, I had to sign 3,300 just posters. I had to sign 3,300 posters on every base that I went to. So that was, the 1,400 was light. It was cool, but it was light. But I am gonna sign more. I'm gonna sign a lot more. But this was just a pregame. We're gonna move over to the next joint. We'll see you guys over there.
All right. Yeah, I think we may have transitioned out already. But speaking of signed books, I better see you sometime around when this thing comes out, because I want my signed copy.
Oh yeah, I'm already planning.
I'll sign yours. You sign mine.
Absolutely. You get a sip, I get a sip. Yeah. Now we're already planning on coming out your way. Just stay behind that bar until we get there, and then we'll be fully equipped. We'll be all good. So
listen,
yeah.
I won't move. I might stink by the time you get here, but I'll be right here.
Oh my God. Yeah, man, I love this. It's so relaxing. It's cool.
Yeah, man. Just chilling. This is what we do. Hang out and make cocktails.
How'd you get into mixology? Because I want to know that.
It's not that fun of a. I mean, it's a good story, I guess. I mean, I've always, I don't know. It's the same. A lot of people in the hospitality industry come from all kinds of different backgrounds and different career trajectories and ambitions and all that sort of stuff. I'm actually like one of the few people that I know in the industry as a hospitality professional who actually knew, like, starting from maybe when I was a teenager, like, this is what I'm going to do professionally.
Wow.
I decided it. A lot of people end up finding it and falling in love with it, and it becomes, a career, and it becomes a passion. I grew up in hospitality, and I moved out to New York City when I was 18. And I started bar backing out of a Mexican nightclub when I was 16 years old. And, fast forward to almost 20 years later, and I'm just, I'm making cocktail books with T-Pain. I don't know what to say,
That's fire. Yeah, that's a hell of a timeline.
It is, yeah, obviously there's a lot of stuff happened in between, but,
Got straight to it. Hey, yeah, but good shit, man.
It's been a great ride. It's been a great ride, and obviously I'm super passionate about it, and I'm super passionate about music, and so there's just something so awesome about actually being able to combine two of my great loves of my life into one thing, and to be able to,
Yeah.
you know, to work with a musician that I really look up to and respect. So yeah, I got some questions for you from a couple of your fans.
I'm ready.
Are kind of cool because we were talking a little bit earlier when we were on Facebook about your collaboration on One Up with Lil Wayne.
Yep.
And we've got Sean from Banbury, Oxfordshire, United Kingdom.
Good God.
Yes, I know. I look like I'm from there, right? That's how I'm dressed.
Right, absolutely.
I look like somebody from Oxfordshire, United Kingdom, right?
There you go. You got the look down.
So our boy Sean, he's saying you've done some fire duets in your career, but who's been your favorite artist that you've shared the mic with, and which artist alive is your dream to work with? A good question.
Oh boy. My favorite artist that I've shared the mic with is probably gonna be Jacob Collier.
Okay.
That dude is superhuman. I don't know what's going on in his brain. He definitely needs to have some tests ran on his brain. It's just something about his harmonies. I mean, just his musical ability at all. He can pick up any instrument and just start playing it. I don't know how he does that. But yeah, Jacob Collier is probably my favorite artist I've collaborated with. Man, it's a lot of toss-ups with who I would want to collab with, my dream collab, because I got one in every genre. So it's a lot of toss-ups, but I guess Andre 3000 would be the dream.
You guys haven't done anything before?
We've kind of done something.
Okay.
But it was like in a weird time in my life and a weird time in his life.
Okay.
So we both kind of we weren't feeling like the music industry at the time. So we were kind of trying to force it. And we were both like, maybe we should just not do this right now.
That's funny.
This was a while ago. This was like 2014, somewhere in between 2014 and 16. But yeah, we both of us were like, yeah, we don't feel like doing music right now.
Yeah, it's so surreal to be drinking cocktails with you and talking about you know, some of these musicians with you as well. And I was telling you before about my career starting out working in a nightclub back when I was in bar backing. And so it's been kind of weird because like throughout my career, it's been sometimes like the soundtrack of Andre's music and his group music, you know, and so it's weird because like it's always just almost like it's a part of the periphery of like my entire life soundtrack.
That's dope, man.
You know,
that's super dope.
that for me, I think is like what made it like just so easy to work with you on this book. You know, it was just like, it's like I said, it's been part of my soundtrack for a long time.
You're great, man. I mean, the way you came in, I mean, you didn't like question a lot of shit.
Well, we talked about that the other day.
All my crazy ass requests. That was just, I mean, you know, you didn't hold back anything. You didn't say that's not going to work. You just said, I'll try to make it work. I'll do my best. It doesn't hurt to try.
That's
you know,
right.
So I appreciate you being down with all my craziness, man. And that was a deciding factor in you know, and having us work together. So
of course.
You did your thing. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, well, that's you know, we've talked about our love for, you know, the hospitality industry in the past, and you know how you know, like what it really means, like make somebody feel like comfortable in their space, like whether or not I'm like hanging out at your house or if you're coming to my bar.
Yeah.
You know, like these types of experiences that we share with each other as humans, it's meant to comfort each other. Why would I ever want to alienate somebody that came over to my house and they say like, you know, like, hey, can I get you something to drink? And you know, you walk up to me and you say, yeah, can you make me you know, like mix me up some tequila, and can you also like garnish that with you know, a couple of Midol on the side, you know, which is something that you really asked for when we were working on the book.
That's so good.
Who am I to, you know, to say no?
You know, especially if we got Midol on hand. That's pretty cool.
and to be fair to all of the fans and your supporters and everybody that, you know, that is purchasing your signed copy of the book here on Live Signing. I don't want to ruin any surprises from the book. That one may or may have not made it in. We also have a couple of other bizarre requests that I think I remember getting from you when we started working on the book. I remember we had one request where it wasn't really a lot of information at all. You just said paper bag. That's all. I just wanted you paper bag.
One of my drinks needed to be presented in a brown paper bag. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. And like I was saying, when we demoed your cocktail on Facebook, Goat Talk, and that one you just said expensive champagne drink, and so I felt like, with all of this, I had you did say a lot of different things, but it really was. I was like decoding like the brain of an artist. I didn't know how to like get more inside of your shoes, like I was like, what is he thinking? What does he mean? I was like putting like maps on my wall in my office, like trying to decode like what does he mean by that, and like seeing how things were tied together. And then of course I got to listen to a lot of awesome music while I was doing it. So
absolutely, you did it. You worked it out, man. You definitely worked that out.
Yeah. Man, that was but a killer time. And I mean, I'll tell you, I think it couldn't have ever happened if we hadn't gotten together during the pandemic, because I think just the amount of time that I think it deserved. I don't know if I would have had the time before. And so it was so cool to really just like spend a good chunk of my year just kind of really just digging in and exploring all of your music and all of your ideas.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean,
it was crazy. It was super.
I couldn't imagine doing that from the outside, because I get to hear my shit all the time, like so, but coming into this situation not knowing how fucking insane I am, and having to deal with that, and actually working it out and actually bringing it into fruition, and and actually making good drinks out of my stupid ass ideas. Yeah, you did good. You did good, kid.
Thank you, my friend. That means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I couldn't have imagined it to be any better.
Thanks,
and we got a question from William Flakes. I don't think he's far from you. He's in Covington, Georgia.
Oh, that's super close.
Okay. And he says, of all the drinks your wife has made on the podcast, which are your favorites? And if you can recall, I know the podcast gets wild at times. Thank you for all of your music, from Fucked Up, Locked Up cover, and T-mixes, the pre-mixes, the all-stars, to I Like That. You've been my favorite artist, and I hope you continue to inspire new people, not just in music, but in all of your ventures in gaming, drifting, etc. Be easy.
God damn.
Yeah. Damn, William Flakes. That was good. I like that.
Holy shit. Thanks. I think.
But just to get to the root of the actual question, it was of all the drinks that your wife made on the podcast.
All the podcast drinks. Yeah. My absolute favorite drink that my wife has made has been the Pink Canadian. No question.
Okay.
Absolutely. She I mean, that's one, because I try all my wife's drinks, and when we were trying that one, I was like, I just want this all the time. And she didn't want to keep making it because it's got a lot of strawberry liqueur and stuff like that, and a lot of sweet stuff that I probably should not be drinking on a keto diet. But
I didn't know you were in a keto diet.
It was good. No, I think that was my most favorite one, was the Pink Canadian she made for PL. And that was just and the Cheez-It. The Cheez-It that she made for Big Cheese. Whoo! Whoa. I didn't even know she. So that was the only drink that I hadn't tried beforehand, and she didn't really know that we were about to have Big Cheese on the podcast, so she kind of had to just like whip something up super quick. So she didn't have time to try it out. She didn't have time to like do it beforehand. She had those spiral cups laying around. She's gotten really into cups.
Okay.
Real big into cups.
Okay.
Every 2 days or so, there's just like boxes and boxes of cups at my front door from Amazon. She's like, I feel like we're going to be able to use this for somebody. If you guys notice, we never use the same cups on the podcast. There's not been one set of the same cups on the podcast. She's
Wow.
so big in the cups now.
Do you guys put does Amber put the recipes on the on the podcast?
So we just put it on the podcast.
Yeah.
I try to have different people read it every week. So she sends me the recipe, I type it out, I have somebody read that, and then we just put it on the podcast. So if you're watching the podcast right after she presents the drink, then that's when the recipe is up on the screen and you can go make it yourself.
That is awesome.
Absolutely.
Very cool. So yeah, I mean, I guess for me, what I liked about William's question that he asked you was it's like sort of almost a question that I was curious to ask you as well, which is, I know that Amber has really influenced your choice to decide to write Can I Mix You a Drink?
Mm-hmm.
So beyond just your love for making great music and having a good time, was there anyone else or anything else that inspired you to have the idea to have a cocktail book be your debut book?
Man, I think it was mostly just out of not thinking that my life story would be super important. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like I get it, but like I got the same story as everybody else. It's not gonna be like a huge difference in my life story, and I just figured I would just do something that I actually gave a shit about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, don't do things you don't care about, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've heard the story before coming up. I came up in the hood and didn't have a lot of opportunities, and I got it out the mud, and I worked hard, and good job. Everybody, that's every successful person's story. Like, so, it would have been no different for me. So we basically just came up with a bunch of different things that I actually do throughout my day, and drinking was one of those, obviously. So
fair enough.
So we just did that. I mean, we're doing this. I'm coming up with a cookbook to pair with these drinks, but it's gonna be like terrible food. Not terrible food, just food that you make when you only have like a few things just sitting around. So the next book
is, it sounds like it might be the opposite of our book in a way.
The next book is gonna like go page to page with Can I Mix You a Drink?
That's perfect.
So you'd be able to have two books that actually go together. So when you turn to page 1 and Can I Mix You a Drink, there's gonna be a food recipe that pairs with that drink on the first page of that. So
let me know when you're cooking up those dishes, and I'll mix up the cocktails and I can give you my pairing notes.
Boom, there it is. Yeah, we'll make it work.
I'd be like, I'll go. Wow, this goat talk just really pairs so well with those Gardetto chips. There's just something about that.
Yeah. This 5 o'clock.
The Italian MSG seasoning just hits.
It's very nice. It goes exceptionally well with this bologna sandwich. That's all it's gonna be.
Yeah. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay, so you've been doing some really awesome new songs. You recently put out a song with Kalani, which was really dope. And
super dope.
Then you also did the remix with Bia.
Yeah.
And so Angela from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, is asking, I need more T-Pain and Kalani in my life. That shit was badass. Are you doing any more?
We are actually working on a project together called A Day Out with the Girls. And it's basically going to be me and just a ton of female features. So we're just going to bring in, all the, highlight some female artists and really push the envelope that, this can be done. And, not to say that it's not been, a hot girl summer for about 3 years now.
Was last summer really white boy summer?
Not at all. Not even close.
Yeah.
It was hot girl summer. They've taken it over, man. It's all women all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
The girls are doing it, man. The women are really showing their asses, literally and figuratively. But I love it, man. I love to see where things are going right now, and I love to see, the inclusion, and it doesn't have to be a hostile takeover. It's just like, you know, really getting the shine that these women deserve, and it's so dope. And why not bring in newer talent, and why not showcase more of that through our platform? So Kalani and I are planning on doing a pretty cool project in just showcasing all the abilities of that side of the industry.
Yeah, man, that's what's up. Well, I mean, you've always been a really strong advocate of equality.
For sure.
It's really dope to literally see you put your money where your mouth is, and,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really cool. So I wanted to ask you about I mean, like you're obviously you got music things going on, and your podcast game is going strong, among other things, in your entrepreneurial ventures. But I'm loving Nappy Boy Radio with T-Pain, and I wanted to know who your favorite guest is, because you've had some great people come through.
Yeah, man.
You had Mike Tyson, you had Hannibal Buress, Roberto Smith from Trap Kitchen, Eric Wareheim. Shout out to Eric. He also has a book coming out.
Yeah, Eric Wareheim, great. Definitely cop that Eric Wareheim book too.
Yeah.
I'm in it. I'm in the book. I'm in that book too. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Eric, where's our shout out? Eric, we won our shout out for our book.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Can I Mix You a Drink coming out on November 3rd? Thank you, Eric.
Hell yeah, man. But now, I guess it's a toss up with that too, man. My favorite, obviously, Hannibal Buress, because he was our first. That was our first episode ever. So, we dropped it after, but I was never gonna drop that episode because we just did it on some GoPros, and all the lights were on in here, and we didn't even know how to set the mood in here to film a podcast. But Hannibal Buress, Gary Owen, Big Cheese, Chris Calico. We just did Roy Wood Jr. the other night.
Oh dang.
Man, it's just a lot. I mean, I always enjoy. I don't even invite people to the podcast if I don't think I'm going to enjoy talking to them.
Yeah.
Like if anybody shows interest in wanting to do it, I'll go look up your past interviews and see if you're any fun. And if you're not, then we're probably not going to have you on, buddy. If you got bad attitude about anything, or you treat people like shit,
right.
Yeah, we're not having you on, So it's a toss up.
You said you were saying about your podcast, you were originally going to call it, you have to help me with this. You were going to call it like, did we record that, or can we record that?
It was going to be called "Fuck." We should have recorded that.
Fuck, we should have recorded that, because the whole tagline and the whole point of the podcast is about, like, it's conversations. They're not interviews.
Exactly.
You just be hanging out with people that you actually like.
Yeah.
And then you'd be, after a couple of hours of great talking, you'd be like, fuck, we should have recorded that.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is all that always happens, man. When people come over to the studio, we end up just talking about weird, obscure ass subjects. And, by the end of it, we're like, man, nobody's going to know we even had that conversation. That was a cool ass conversation. So we try to include, the work at first, and then we, start making drinks in here, and, the drinks start flowing, and we get to talking, and I'm like, okay, everybody stop talking. Let's just go over there. Let's just get it done. And it usually works out, man. But yeah, I like I said, I only invite people that I know I'm going to enjoy having a conversation with. And, we have people that come over, or not people that come over, but people that call and say, yo, my client would like to come on T-Pain's podcast to promote a movie. And I'm like, this is not what that's for. Right. We're not promoting anybody's shit. This is not for that. If you want to come and just talk to T-Pain and just have a cool conversation, that's cool. But if you're coming for the sole purpose of promotion and you think we're going to include that part, you got the wrong podcast, but.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. That's awesome. And literally, in this situation, you are really buying someone a drink. You got people coming over, and Amber's mixing up the cocktails. And it's literally the T-Pain home theater experience.
Absolutely, man. So it's the fact that we include all that stuff, and the fact that we play games, and the fact that we actually just have normal conversations, and it's not like interviewee questions. It's like don't even expect it to be anything different other than just us hanging out. It's not for any kind of business venture. I don't even know when these episodes are gonna drop. So and that's the beautiful thing about it. The reason I can be so picky about it is because I don't have to do this at all. It's not like a requirement in my life. I just like having conversations, and it'd be cool if people can hear, people be a fly on the wall while we were having these conversations. That's pretty much what the whole thing is for. So, the fact that I don't have to, this isn't like my main revenue stream or anything like that. I can easily be super picky about it, and that'll still be fine. So here we are.
I mean, like you said, you said this to me a couple of times, but like, cause you've gone through so much in your career, and you've gotten to this place of like, I don't know, maybe of a certain amount of experience by now, where you just want to do stuff that makes you happy.
That's it.
This is the thing that makes you happy. Like, you still know how to make music. You can still do all those things that you've been doing for decades, but now you can, like, you get to be at home more with your family. You get to collaborate with your friends. You're playing video games. You're producing stuff for other people. There's all kinds, you're writing books. Like, it's you're in like a new like blue period in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a job anymore. You know what I'm saying? When these things first start off, it's always a passion. And we love that when it's a passion, but then after a while it turns into a job, and you have to do it, and you have to wake up at certain times, and you have to appease certain people and stuff like that. And that's when you lose the love for it, and that's when it just becomes a routine, and it's not something you actually want to do anymore. But if you take that control back and you actually make it your passion again, and only do the things that bring you joy, and only things that you actually like doing, and not just like holding up a soda can that you don't even fucking drink, or promoting the alcohol that you don't even fucking drink, or just, what I'm saying, that's when it turns into a job. But if you do things that you absolutely love, that's the whole saying, that if you find something you love and get paid for it, you'll never work a day in your life.
Exactly.
That's so it's not a job anymore. I'm actually doing stuff that I like doing, and subsequently it's making me more money than when I was actually doing the job. I don't know how the fuck that happened, but it shines through. People can see when it's authentic, So I'd rather just keep doing authentic things, and get the money I'm getting.
It's a great outlook, and it has to be. It could not have been earned without a lot of hardship. I'm sure. But I think that key takeaway of not allowing the thing that made you successful be the thing that brings you down. That like you're grounding yourself in you're focused on positivity, and it's a really cool thing, man. It definitely inspires me, and I know it inspires a lot of other people that are your fans, that watch and follow everything that you do. We have one question from one of your fans, Michael from Philadelphia, PA. Philly. And he wants to know, because we talked about this sort of for a minute. We did the cocktail book. You're working on the cookbook, and Michael wants to know, when's there going to be the T-Pain memoir? Where's the T-Pain biopic? I feel like there's so much to learn about you, and I think he's totally right, because in between developing recipes for you, working on Can I Mix You a Drink, releasing on November 2nd. Please purchase the book. I have to agree, man. I feel like I've barely even hit the top of the iceberg. There's so much to unearth about you. I've learned so much about you over the past year, but I don't feel like I'm even anywhere closer to knowing you, even though like you have become a great friend and we have a great time together. It's true. When's that memoir coming out? Where's that biopic?
I don't know, man. I feel like those things happen kind of at the end,
Oh, man.
So I don't want to. I don't want to like call it early.
Or 3.
I don't want to call it early. Even when I was kind of forced to put out a greatest hits album a while back, and like I was like, wait, I haven't made like my greatest shit yet. These are just. I mean, I would have been cool with if it was like T-Pain's greatest hits so far. Like, that would have been cool. But, like, you guys don't know that you're going to force me to put out a greatest hits album as if they didn't believe I could make hits anymore. And that was just, I feel that same way about biopics and memoirs, man. I want to wait until I'm like, you know what? I think I'm done. I think this is it. Okay, now you can sum up everything that happened up to this point,
Yeah.
not from fucking 10 years ago. Like I wasn't done yet. I'm still making hits now.
That's true. You still have a lot more time to shine. It's not like you don't want it to be like a retrospective while you're not even
Right.
You haven't even hit the top of what you're doing yet.
Exactly. I haven't even explored all the shit I've been wanting to do.
Yeah, man.
For the last 15 years.
You're really just getting started, which is the most insane thing about everything that you've done. But I do want to ask this question before I get to the next one, because sometimes biopics can be awful. And sometimes it's a bummer because usually if you're watching one, you're watching it because it's somebody you love. Somebody like an amazing musician usually is going to inspire a biopic. So are there, like off the top of your head, are there any you can think of that maybe got it right, or you were like, you know what, that was pretty close, which it's hard to do. It's not an easy thing to do with making film.
Yeah. Man. Obviously 8 Mile.
Oh yeah, well that couldn't be any better than that if you guys Eminem playing stuff.
8 Mile was
he was
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Okay.
You know, I mean that's pretty much the same camp though. God damn it, they're really good at making films.
It's hard, man. It's hard. A lot of them, I feel like a different biopic comes out every other year. You know, we had the Aretha Franklin one just came out. There was a Miles Davis one was a couple years ago.
The James Brown joint was fire.
Yeah.
Chadwick killed that James Brown joint.
Yep.
Man, I haven't seen the Aretha Franklin one yet.
I haven't either.
I gotta be in a mood. I gotta be in a mood for that because I know it's gonna be a lot of loud singing.
Yeah.
I gotta be ready for that.
Well,
I gotta carve out a night for that. I can't have anything else to do.
You gotta get your soundboard perfect.
Yeah, I gotta be ready. I gotta be ready. But yeah, man. I mean, those are my tops. That I've seen.
I'm down with that. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been a veteran of the interview circuit. Obviously, here we are. We're doing this is something like we were saying in the beginning. I was like, man, I got to just keep up with you because you have so many interviews. Been on so many TV shows. You're on season 2 of the Go Big Show with Bert Kreischer.
Yeah.
As one of the judges, and I've seen you do everything from acting like a maniac on the Eric Andre show. Hanging out in a van with Steve-O and eating lobster, to hanging out with Mike Tyson when you had a red wine hangover and he's on mushrooms, and you just have some incredible standouts. And it's not to mention your recurring role on Hot Ones, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, just in general. What's a standout? Because you've done some epic shows and interviews over the last few years.
Yeah, man. Man, I think that Mike Tyson one was it.
That was crazy, man. That was like a mind. It was a mind trip. He was tripping out.
Yeah, there was definitely a mind trip. That actually, not even gonna lie, that got me into mushrooms. So I wanted to see what the hell was going on there because I didn't, you don't think the champ would do it. So if he can handle it, I can probably give it a go. But no, he man, I think that was just good because he's just like he's a dope person, man. He's a genuine person. And just seeing one of the people I really look up to say all that nice shit about me was like, what? Yeah, obviously, yeah. Seeing somebody that's been talked about in my household for, since I was a child, and watching his fights to, having my dad be involved with him, and him not even knowing the lineage that comes with how we we have at least 3 degrees to each other.
Right.
Yeah, just talking to Mike Tyson. Even if any of that in between stuff never even happened. My dad being involved with him, me being involved with him, none of that had to happen. And just talking to Mike Tyson was enough.
Yeah. And so hold on, I gotta ask you, did he do your podcast first, or did you do his first?
So we did a joint podcast.
Okay. Okay. So it
Yeah,
was
so we did a joint. So basically, I did my podcast in his space.
got it. Okay.
So we kind of traded off with
I
that.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there was enough like crazy mental trippy stuff going on. I was trying to like navigate.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, and I was already in LA. It just worked out perfectly. We were already talking about it, and then I was already in LA, and they was like, "Hey, you want to do it today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I absolutely want to do it today." So we just went and just crushed it, knocked it out. Yeah, and Bash came in, did his thing, and held it together because I was all fucked up from the day before, and Mike was all fucked up from right then. So
Right then. Okay, so I gotta fit in a couple more fan questions here.
Cool.
We got Tracy from Dallas, Texas, and this is funny because I feel like this is tied to all kinds of things right now. Halloween is upon us. Okay, and well, we recently were talking about how you basically, you didn't lie to me, but like you kind of omitted the fact that your house is haunted when I went over to your house. And so even though this question is not tied to that, I still feel like there's something to it. And so her question is, when did you take an interest in spirits, beverages, not ghosts?
When I take an interest in spirits,
it sounds like you've been interested in spirits or ghosts for a while. You just never told me about it.
Correct. That's very correct. Man, I think I got interested in spirits. This is gonna sound terrible because I'm American. I think I got interested like when I was 16. It was, yeah, it was. But I
we're not
started.
going to tell all those stories right now, but I get you. I know what you mean.
Yeah. When I was
Hey, I started working behind bars when I was 16. So
there you go. You know,
I was probably interested. I was definitely interested in spirits before that.
Big time, land of the free. So we were. So basically, I had a friend, older friend that would come over, and we would sit and kind of study music, and we would sit in his car and just listen to music all night, just all hours of the night, just to see how we can make our music better. And he was over 21, so he would bring alcohol with him, and obviously I would drink it. So we would just sit there just drunk as hell and just listening to music, trying to figure out how to make ours better. And I started trying to figure out how I can make this shit not taste like liquid asshole. So it got to a point to where I just started, throwing different things in there and, bringing my own juice outside and making sure that shit was happening. And then I threw up all over my dad's bathroom, and after that I had to stop for a while. But yeah, I think that was around the time where I got interested in like, oh shit, I can actually, chill out, get this feeling, and not be drinking liquid asshole.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you don't anymore. I'm happy with that. I'm glad that we met each other. Only if you and I met at the same age back then, I could have, had we only known what the future could have told.
Right.
I was definitely drinking the same thing you were.
I figured it out though.
We did. We figured it out. And now we just have cocktails on the internet and just laugh our asses off about it. I have to, we're starting to close up on time, and I do have more questions for you, but I do want to continue to give your fans love. So we do, let me see, I like this one. It's short and sweet. This one's from Tyler from Greensboro, North Carolina. He just wants to know, what's your favorite drink on tour? And I know that you have a philosophy on this, and I know you even talk about it in our book, Can I Mix You a Drink? Coming out November 2nd. Please buy. What do you got for me?
My go-to drink on tour is, man, were we talking about this last night?
Not you and I.
I think because I had my whole crew over here last night, and I think we were talking about it. Oh yeah, we were talking about triple shots of tequila. So the strategy behind this.
I'm gonna stay with you. I'm gonna try to stay standing while you're talking.
So we usually get triple shots of tequila, ice on the side, garnishes, and all the additives on the side. Just because we like taking shots, but we also like sipping drinks. But we order triple shots because for some reason it just takes a really fucking long time for people to come back with just a shot of alcohol. So we try to get it all done at once. You know what? Just pour me all the shit I'm gonna want in the next hour. Just pour it all in one cup right now.
Why don't you just, at that rate, if you're getting three, I'm imagining you're having drinks with at least 2 other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking triple shots for each of you. So, but a bottle of liquor is 25 ounces. So by that point, why don't you just get the bottle?
See, you got to be prepared for each contingency. You see, because if you're somewhere like North Carolina,
yeah,
they're not allowed to bring you the bottle to your table. It's state law. It's state law. So you'll buy a bottle.
You and I are never hanging out in North Carolina.
You can either buy a bottle and they won't bring it to your table, or you can buy a bottle and they'll bring it to your table, but it'll be in a lockbox that only your waitress has the key to.
Okay.
So you got to be ready for that everywhere. You got, if you don't know the state law, you got to be ready to go for it anywhere you are, and that's just one of our strategies. We'll just order.
Interesting. That's interesting. I feel like you just schooled me on state liquor laws, and that's weird. That's weird because
there's
I
even
could school you on that the way you school me on strip clubs in different states. But
kablam. There's a strip club in Atlanta that will not bring a bottle to your table if you buy it. They'll pour it at the bar and they'll bring it to you. But they've been known to not pour the drink you asked for. They'll just pour like a cheaper version of it, and then just bring you that, and then tell you that you paid $1,400 for some shit for some $35 bottle shit. So, it's just you got to be ready for that. You got to see them pour it. Just go to the bar. See them pour it out of the bottle and make sure they open a new bottle. That's always very important.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I'm gonna start winding it down a little bit, but I've got I need a couple pieces of advice from you.
Okay.
We talked about Hot Ones earlier, and shout out to Sean Evans and Chris Schonberger. Those guys are
shout out.
So there's the Brooklyn Hot Sauce Expo. It's this hot sauce convention that happens once a year. It didn't happen obviously over COVID, so it's the first time in 2 years. It's happening this weekend here in Brooklyn, not too far away from where I am right now, and I'm going to be competing in the Hot Wing Challenge. And I know that you know this better than I do, so I just need you to hook me up with a little knowledge so that maybe I have a chance at winning.
Wow. Drink milk first.
Okay.
Before you start eating, drink the milk first. Milk kind of coats your stomach, so a lot of people eat wings and then drink milk, but the wings already made it to everything it's going to touch, and the milk is just going to be sitting on top of wherever the wings touched already.
It's like a natural Pepto-Bismol. Like it just
right. You want to get the milk going first, then wings, and then throw milk on top of that. So you kind of want to sandwich the wing and sauce in between 2 layers of milk. I think that's just better.
Well, I liked your strategy in the second episode you did on Hot Ones, where
that was bad. That did not work out.
You had some new pitches. You had some new vocal pitches. Screams.
The sauces were much hotter this time.
Yeah, they were. Well,
I don't know what that was about, man. That was crazy. I mean, we got it together though. It worked out. We figured it out.
I liked how you said my strategy. You were like, my strategy is going to be different this time because I'm going to drink some tequila before I drink my milk. So I'm going to fuck up my stomach before I have hot wings, and then I'm going to get into it. So I'm guessing from what I saw that I should not.
Oh. If you're doing that on purpose, that is amazing. Okay, you're back. Okay.
No, we lost each other. Oh my God. Okay, we're back.
We got it. We're good now.
All right. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if we got any more questions from the fans. I know that we got a lot of really good ones here. Okay, so it became a little thematic with the ghosts and the haunted houses and the spirits. We have one question from where do we Ryan in New Orleans. Do you have a go-to drink for Halloween or any holiday for that matter?
You know what? I tried. Well, man, I don't have a go-to, but we usually do like the RIP tour at Universal Studios Orlando.
Ooh.
So on that tour, they have stops in between the haunted houses where you can just grab drinks. So you know, it's we don't really get to pick. they kind of just pour you up and send you on to the next haunted house, and it's pretty damn cool. But no, I don't think I have a go-to because I'm always out of town on Halloween, so it's kind of whatever's the choice at the moment, you know?
Actually, I got this one for you, dude. I got this one for you.
What do you got?
Well, you got a great song called Monster Mash.
It's true. It's true.
And your crazy request for that cocktail was you wanted to have blueberry cereal.
Absolutely.
And I can neither deny or confirm that we ended up using blueberry cereal, but I can tell you that it was certainly a Monster Mash themed cocktail. By all means, definitely a Halloween drink. And
Fire.
I'm gonna give you a hint. It definitely takes some balls to make this one. I'm sorry. I'd give one bad dad joke before we sign off.
That's it. You only get one.
Come on, man. I'm standing in a bar in a tuxedo by myself right now. What else am I
You only get one. You only get one. That's it. That's over.
Okay. Well, T-Pain, I love hanging out with you. You're
absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
I can't wait till we get together to celebrate the release of our book, which is going to be November 2nd. So happy to be a part of live signing. And of course, a huge shout out to all of T-Pain's fans. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining us this evening. Please buy Can I Mix You a Drink. Have a great day, everybody. We love you.
Peace to the God, son.
All right. See you guys.
Buy my book.
All right. Later.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.